Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Koji Samalde, and I am a maker of all things. Typically, I am pressing record, making things for clients in many different industries, predominantly the outdoor filmmaking space, and I've been at it for about 8 years now. Whoa! But now I'm taking a shot at this YouTube thing, so bear with me as I get comfortable with speaking to you guys in my home studio. I really want to talk to the creatives that are looking to get into the videography space and you have a passion for filmmaking and photography. There's a plethora of resources. There are so many people, so many great channels on YouTube that dive into gear, all different types of facets of the filmmaking industry and the creative space. And I'm merely just another talking head. So I appreciate you guys being here, and I'm really excited to share with you some of the things that I come across as a filmmaker in this day and age in 2025. So I spent 25 days in Japan for my 30th birthday, and I was so excited to see my family, share an experience with my friends, and ultimately, I really wanted to go search for vintage lenses. And that's why I'm making this video today, to show you what I'm excited about. This has been an absolute hoot to play with and to use as a tool in my kit of vintage lenses. The brand of this lens is Teflon. This is actually a 35 to 70 macro f2.8. And side note, I also brought back this I brought back this Canon FD 200mm. You're probably asking, why would you get a photo lens that's 40 years old and it's got chromatic aberration and it's hard to use and shooting handheld would be absolutely impossible? Well, I'll answer that. It's just another tool in the toolbox, and it will match perfectly with this 100mm macro that I use for close-ups and portraits and just all around creamy B-roll and interviews. And also will pair nicely with this Canon 50mm FD Prime, along with the Canon FD 24mm f2.8 that I'm filming with right now on my A7S III. So guys, I know I'm all over the place and I know I'm throwing a bunch of different lenses in your face. Let's just go outside and see how they work. Now, as fun as it may seem to shoot a vlog / whatever this video is on a vintage lens, I'm not going to do that by myself. So I've switched to the Sony 20mm f1.8 G lens just to make things easier and to make this process way less stressful on my technical mind. I care so deeply about how my footage looks and how my work can look different than what we're seeing out there. This is not saying that modern lenses are bad or less than. There's a time and place for those workhorse types of lenses, and cinema lenses, all of the anamorphic lineups that we're seeing now, there's a time and place for all of those. I just love the vintage look, and that's why I'm making this video for you guys. Side note, my friend Chris got me these VND shades. Guys, they're like kind of gimmicky. I've had a few people reach out on Instagram, ask me about them. They're like kind of gimmicky, but they're honestly like pretty well built. Like, to have some VNDs, I will say when you put them on, like I can see who's coming up behind me. There's a lot of glare on the sides of these in your periphery, so. Look who it is. In the package. So guys, I just want to show you some real world tests. What I do love is that this lens is a 35. It's not a prime lens that I own, and it's not a lens that I shoot on, or a focal length that I shoot on often. Now, a downside to this lens is it's not a constant aperture. We go from f2.8 at 35, and then as we zoom, we actually stop down to, I believe, around f3.5, which is common for these style lenses. It's not a huge difference in aperture, but it is noticeable when you are zooming in on things. So just be mindful of that when you're testing out any vintage lenses for yourself. So as you can see, my minimum focus distance is 2.5 feet. You have to get pretty far away if you want to get some detail stuff. You can just turn this macro dial and the whole front face of the lens stretches out. And now, like, my minimum distance is maybe 4 inches. And you can see here, like, how crisp these macro shots are. To be able to do this on the fly with a lens that can variably zoom is really, really cool. It's really versatile. Now, I don't want to get too technical with this review because it's not really a review. It's more so just to show you guys the versatility of having vintage lenses and a few examples. The builds on these lenses are all metal. If you can find some without any fungus on the inside of the elements, you're in good shape. And that's one thing to look out for when you are searching on eBay or any online sites for vintage lenses. Make sure there is no fungus. And you can get fungus just from being in a humid place. So I really am taking a risk by owning these lenses in Florida. I mean, I'm willing to take that risk because these 4 lenses alone were under $300 total. Price and the price for all of these adapters, I'm in at about $500. And then to get this lens for $9, and I think this 200 millimeter was also around, like, I think it was under $20. I'm just gonna run around and show you guys some examples of these focal lengths. I was one of the lucky ones to get the 1 out of 1,000 Potato Jet Tribex tripods, as you can tell with the orange clutch handle. This is a really awesome tripod. It holds the FX6 the way that I have it kitted out really well. I would recommend it for running gun stuff. However, if you are into bigger productions with bigger camera packages, I would look into something that could hold a bigger camera package. This is 35 millimeters. And if I zoom in, you can see how it gets a little dark. It just dims a hair, and that is that lack of a constant aperture, which is something that you have to consider if you're looking at one of these lenses, but it's not a huge problem to me. I just usually stop down, or you can mess with the internal NDs if you have an FX6. I don't have enough of these lens adapters yet. I would highly suggest, if you are gonna have a kit of prime lenses that you need to adapt to your camera body, just go ahead and invest in the adapters and save yourself the time and energy of swapping these out, because these FD mounts are really finicky and you do not want to mess any of these components up when you're swapping lenses. So it's just much easier to have your vintage lenses already adapted, and then you just throw it right on the E-mount. This can be sketchy, especially on set, especially if you're running gun, especially if you're out in nature. It can get really hairy. So guys, just go ahead and get yourself the adapters. They're about $40 on Amazon, and they're worth every single penny because it just makes that ease of use so much better. So this is what the 50 millimeter looks like at 1.8. We got like ND 1/40, I think. I can't see it, so, but this looks really good. I love the way that this 50 millimeter looks. It's just really sharp, and it's also at the same time like really soft. It's kind of hard to explain, but I mean, you can see for yourself in this footage. One of the most versatile lenses in my kit. So yeah, nifty 50, you cannot beat it. So again, having your adapters fastened to your lenses makes it so much easier. So this is the 100 millimeter. As you can see, a lot of compression. It just looks really good. I love this focal length. It allows me to punch into things from further away. Obviously, it's a zoom lens, and I love it. So you got to get a 100 millimeter. It's a really good focal length to have in your kit. This is macro. Mind my chapped lips and underbite. This is what the macro looks like. Really awesome to have this feature. It's Whataburger's 75th anniversary. Whataburger, if you're seeing this, hook it up, bro. I have Whataburger cups in my cupboard. 75th anniversary from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. for their 75 cents. And I hope you get one. Just to show you how far 200 millimeters really is. For those of you that have a 70 to 200 G Master, like this is nothing new to you. Or a 100 to 400, again, this is nothing new to you. However, I'm standing really close to this thing that says high voltage, so let's hope I don't die. But yeah, that is how far 200 millimeters is. And that's the lens I got in Japan for less than $20. So get you one. So guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I really appreciate you being here. If you made it this far, comment in the comment section underbite to let me know you watched it to the end. And if there are any Teflon owners out there, leave a comment as well. I want to know who you are and would love to chat with you. Also, comment what vintage lenses you have if you have any. All right guys, we'll see you in the next one.